What's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I figured this would be a good time to do a little bit of maintenance on the bike since it has so many miles. I believe I have over 1,000 miles on it now. After our San Francisco trip, which definitely took a toll on the old brake pads, it's time to replace the brake pads. And for that trip I put a GPS mount on it, so I'll show you guys how I did that and what I think of that. And then my seat has developed some rips in it, and I know some of it has probably definitely been self-inflicted. I've definitely, after 1,000 miles, I've crashed on it quite a few times. You know, I like to get stupid with it. I don't know if you've seen any of my videos. You know, me going across train bridges and, you know, stuff like that. So I get out and I really use the crap out of this bike. And other than the seat getting a couple tears in it, man, it has been great. As far as the seat's concerned, I contacted Morrow Bike and I let them know that I had some tears in the seat. And they sent me a brand new seat, so we'll open that up, get that on the bike. Also, I'm going to swap out the pedals because one of my pedals has developed a little bit of a clicking sound when you're pedaling that drives me crazy. And anyways, I just want some different pedals with a little bit more grip, a little bit flatter. Without any further ado, let's get on with swapping the brake pads, the seat, show you the cell phone mount. Before we get started, let's do a little unboxing and see what we got here. I assume this is my brake pads and my pedals. Pedals, and I will put a link in the description below, obviously, so you guys can find these if you want to do these kind of upgrades to your bicycle. Those are extra pegs for your pedals, I would assume. You know, the knobs that come through that stick on your shoes. So there's the pedals. There's the brake pads. So let's open this up and check these out. It comes in a set of 4, as you can see. I'll go ahead and show you how to replace those today too. Instructions, those are important, right? So let's check out the seat that they sent. This is actually, I think, the first time I've unboxed something too. Maybe the second. So there it is. A brand new seat. Look at that. Beautiful. Now what I do have to do, I don't know if you guys watched the other video where I mounted my battery under the seat. I do have to drill 2 little holes under here so the bracket for the battery mount kind of indent into the seat just slightly. But other than that, it's just straight swap to the new seat. All right, this time let's actually get started on the maintenance. Okay guys, so I figured the first thing we'd do here is take the front wheel off and do the front hubs. And you'll need a 5/8 inch wrench. And I'm just using a multi-tool. So let's go ahead and get the front wheel off. So there we go with that. So now what we're going to do, remove this bracket here to get the brake pads to slide out. There we go. There we go. You can see they're pretty wore out. I'll show you what the new ones look like. So here's a new pad compared to an old pad. So after you remove the brake pads, you can kind of see the pistons in there. You got to get a flathead screwdriver to push the pistons further inside the caliper to fit the new brake pads. As because the old brake pads have worn down, the pistons have adjusted to those. So let's go ahead and do that. So what I do is I take a rag and I wrap it around my flathead screwdriver and I put it in there and I put it right there on the ring of the piston and I just push it over just a little bit. Make sure it's pushed over, push the other side over. So as you can see, they're further apart. So now we'll go ahead and install the new pads. They just slide right into place. We take our keeper bolt, or whatever you'd like to call this, put that in, go ahead and tighten that down. There we go. Now we reinstall the front wheel. You just got to line it up and slide it in between the pads as you bring the forks back down on the wheel, which can be a little challenging sometimes. There you go. Front brake pads replaced. So there it is. The brake pads are replaced on the front, and it's the exact same procedure for the back. I don't think I need to go through that, but it's the exact same procedure. So now let's move on to replacing the seat. Again, I'm using the multi-bicycle tool. And I'm going to switch to the right size for the bolt underneath the seat to remove the seat. And they're just right under here. So there's 3 of them total. So I'll go ahead and remove those. There's 2 back here. I'm going to loosen all 3 up so you can see the location. And there's 1 more right here in front of my bracket. So I'm going to go ahead and loosen that and get the seat taken off. Now the seat is removed. And you can see here, guys, these are the holes I'm talking about. I know it's kind of hard to see, but this hole here and this hole here is to allow these bolts I got up here that come through for my battery bracket. They got to protrude into the seat just a little bit. So I got to go grab the new seat and we'll drill some holes in that. And if you're curious how I know where to drill the holes, what I do is I put the seat on loosely, and then I just, so it's all lined up where it needs to be, and then I just push down on the seat and I wiggle it a little bit, and it makes indents in the bottom of the seat so I know exactly where to drill. Okay, now that I got my holes marked, I know it's probably hard to see again. There's an indentation there and an indentation there, and you can see it's nice in the center of these imprints here where they got a metal bracket in there, so I know that's the right place. So I'll flip the old seat upside down, get my drill bits out, and then I'll go ahead and drill the holes in my new seat for the battery bracket. And it's just a little hole, just enough so it protrude into the rubber. Just like that. And then you come up here and I line it on up, and now I'll bolt the seat back together. Okay, just finishing tightening up the seat here, and you can see fits just like normal with that bracket under there. We still have to do the pedals. So for the pedals, I'm going to go ahead and use my 5/8 inch wrench again. And it's kind of a pain. At first, you kind of got to hold with one hand and pull with the other, but then it comes right off. You can see here the comparison in the pedal. This one's just a little bit bigger, and it's quite a bit lighter too. So I'll go ahead and twist this on. Huh, that's for the right side. So for the left side. Now, let's go to the other side of the bike. And it's the exact same procedure over here. It's just gonna twist the opposite direction. The only weird part is trying to hold it. Let's see. There we go. And I can tell you one thing, when you're doing this kind of stuff, the center mount kickstand that I have is extremely helpful. There we go, new pedals installed. All right, so we got the new brake pads in, we replaced the torn seat, and we got the new pedals on. And it didn't take that long, maybe 20-30 minutes at the most. So now I'll show you about the bracket that I have to mount your cell phone, so you have GPS, so you can just look down, you know, quick look down, see where you're at or where you're going, and it doesn't interfere with anything up here where I mounted it. Maybe other people will mount it somewhere different, but I like where I got mine. All right, guys, so here's the bracket I have for the cell phone, and I'll leave a link in the description below to all the brake pads and pedals and this thing as well. It slides, so you can install it just like that. Then it has this rubber webbing, and it pulls up over, oops, it's hard to do one-handed, all four corners of your phone. So there you go, bracket's mounted, and as you can see here, it's just a little round mount, and you could mount that anywhere. You could mount it on the bars or anywhere, but I thought that was a pretty good place for it right there. I mean, that's a perfect view of all your controls. Well, that pretty much concludes the service to my bike. I mean, other than like little stuff, like I'll probably oil a chain and stuff like that, because it's been a while since I've done that. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.